Hey team, it's Monday. It's that time of the week where we practice something new in our yearly challenge. So this week we're looking at a pot kettle black. Nothing really behind that except it's a black kettle. So we're going to use our 8B pencil. We're going to work on our symmetry and our angles because the angles are quite difficult in this one. So grab your pencils and let's get started. So this shape, a little bit similar to the one we did a few weeks ago, where we break something complicated into much more simpler shapes. We can see this kettle as a cylinder and then maybe a triangle or a pyramid, and this will help us just to construct that base. So if you start with a cylinder on the top and then you imagine a triangle going down either side, and then you've got a nice curve that connects the two edges. You've also got an oval at the top as well, and this will be the base of your kettle. Now, when you get to the handle, I want you to notice that the handle is actually parallel to the triangle base underneath. So think about the direction of that angle and then add the little grippy bit on the top where your thumb maybe can go. And then we'll look at the spout on the left-hand side. So there's nothing parallel about the spout on the left. It's just kind of pulling away from us. Quite far, actually. At least you don't get burnt. And then the final bit is just the handle on the top. So again, this is another cylinder. It's a small one and it's pretty much central in your kettle. Now, hopefully you're getting a little bit more comfortable with your shading. So our next stage is to actually draw those strips of black that we see in our kettle because it's going to make things way easier when we shade it. So let's do that now. This might feel very unnatural, but you're gonna be drawing those dark strips on the kettle, leaving the light bits so that we know when we're ready to shade, we just go to fucking town. And I will not disappoint you, my friends. When you've done this, use your 8B pencil and shade in those dark strips as dark as they can go, because this is an exercise all about darkness and pushing your boundaries. Now, it should just be quite easy, quite therapeutic. And if you're ever worried about getting dark on your hand, or maybe you're spreading it, pop a piece of paper underneath your hand so that you're not smudging it with your pencil. So once you've done this, it's going to look really weird. It looks like some sort of humbug or a sweet or just something that you kind of want to eat. But what we're going to do next is blend and fill those gaps in between. So we've done this quite a few times now where we've had to blend our edges, and this should help your object look very 3D very, very quickly. But you might want to use your 2B to soften it, or maybe you do your 8B and then go over it. But it should start to look a little bit more curved because you've got, light, dark, a little bit lighter, dark, and this is the sign of a good curved object. So you might want to spend a bit of time on the shading. It is the most fun part, I feel. And we spend a good amount of time on the outline. So why not enjoy it and, just go for it. This is a dark shading exercise. So you really do need to push your fears and try and get over that hurdle of going too dark. So keep working around your object, looking at those dark parts. And then when you've done that, you want to soften the grain because an 8B is super grainy, and I find it quite annoying. But obviously, you kind of have to do it because that's the whole point in the drawing. We kind of do need to make things very dark and grainy. Anyway, what you can do instead is you can actually use a very sharp 2B instead of a 2H because your 2H is very, very light, and sometimes it just might not get there with the darkness. So try 2B this time to refine your drawing and make it incredibly smooth. Thanks for watching, team, and if you enjoyed that, remember you can sign up to my Patreon for just £3 a month. Et voila, you have done a very dark shading, and this is going to help all the future drawings that you're going to do with me ever, all by yourself. All right, team, I'll see you next week for another video.